Welcome back. It's been a while, I know, but I keep getting comments from you guys on every other video asking me to bring back the best laptop setups video series. So I am. We're gonna give it a try again. This is episode number 40. And if you guys like this, please share it, please like it, drop a comment, and we'll try to keep this thing going. But before I show you the new setups, a little bit of house cleaning. Congratulations to Manu from episode number 39. I feel like you had the best setup, so you are getting a $100 Amazon gift card. And of course, if you're interested in submitting your laptop setup series, there'll be instructions in the description down below. Setup 1 has to be a troll. It's from a dude named Adrian. He lives in the Philippines. He lists out all the items in his setup, but the first picture that I see here is basically two dudes watching hentai. I can't even show you the picture. I have to blur it out because it's inappropriate. And for those of you unfamiliar with hentai, it's basically naked cartoon people. That's as far as I'm gonna go. But look, I mean, come on guys. Like, don't watch naked cartoons. Like, go outside and talk to real girls. You guys are better than that, okay? But the weird thing is, he has like a couple of other setups in here, and I don't know if these are just his own or if he's just collecting pictures of setups that give him inspiration. But there's one setup in here that I really like. Like, it looks beautiful. It has all this wood paneling. You have these gorgeous pictures at the top. You have a desktop PC, which I think looks very good. It goes with all the lighting. The monitor is floating. You have your arm for your microphone, stands for the headphones, but there's no laptop, right? So I can't include this as a contestant for this series, but it definitely brings a lot of inspiration out there for those of you that are building your desk setup. Setup number 2 comes from Moniz. He's from Sri Lanka, and he said he's watched every episode of the best laptop setups. I really do appreciate that. And said it inspired him to make his own setup, which he feels like is not the best, but he's satisfied. Look, Moniz, I think you did a great job. Not everyone has tons of money to have a crazy desk setup, but sometimes just like organizing the things on your desk properly is good enough. Like, it's a good enough way to make you feel good when you're actually working. You have the little laptop stand with your laptop off in the corner. The fact that it's vertically positioned gives a lot of cooling on the back, so it's better for airflow. You have it attached to your monitor, which is a big MSI Mag 27-inch monitor, 180 hertz refresh rate, and I love the fact that you have it connected to a monitor arm, which allows it to float off the desk, giving you some space underneath to stick a speaker. You obviously like playing video games, as you do have an Xbox controller. I should mention the laptop of choice is from Asus. It looks to be like one of their tough gaming laptops, the A15 with an RTX 4050. Overall, it's fairly clean. Is it perfect? No, but I think it's good enough. The next setup is from Hanif. She is from Germany. And I say she because she's actually been on episode number 28 where I called her a guy. I didn't know the gender, I just assumed a guy because 90% of my audience is male, but I apologize for that. Look, Hanif, I love your setup. I think it looks awesome. It's clean, it has a bit of a mood to it, everything is organized well, but the thing that really sticks out for me is the fact that you have a separate space at the back with a little cork board. I guess you can call it a cork board, or pegboard rather, with a lot of other items on it, but then you have a separate desk below it that takes you away from technology, at least your computer, right? So like, you're not being interrupted a lot. Like, if you just need some space and time to yourself, you kind of just go over to that desk, maybe start writing or doing something different, and you're away from technology. I think that's really cool. Now, I forget which laptop you're using, but obviously it's an Acer laptop because I can kind of seeing it. You said in the previous video you didn't have a monitor, but now you do, and quite frankly, I think that looks a lot nicer. Plus, it's just a lot easier on your eyes, and you just have more screen real estate to work with. You got your speakers beside it, and then of course a little drawer below the monitor so you can store knickknacks so that it doesn't basically take up the entire table. And the fact that you got the monitor on an arm allows you to do that. There's a keyboard, no idea which one. I'd probably have to go back to the previous setup. Looks like you have a Logitech MX Master, like a lot of people do these days. I love the pictures behind it. It adds more character to the desk. It just has it has like warm wood vibes to it. Like, I like it, you know, like it's a very moody vibe. The next setup comes from Phil. He's also a fellow Portuguese like myself. Como é que estás? Obrigado. Thank you so much for sending this in. But he happens to also be from New Jersey. And look, this is his setup, and he's been working on it for 6 to 8 months. And he's built the majority of stuff himself, like a true pork chop, okay? And I like it. You know, there's a lot of stuff in here. For some people, this would be a disaster, but I think he's done a very good job of keeping everything organized. Now, most of it's custom made, but the desk itself is from IKEA. There's obviously a wood theme going on here, a light wood theme. He has a big 34-inch Asus TUF monitor that runs at 165 Hertz, and he has this connected to an Asus PX13 laptop. The smart thing, though, is instead of getting a second monitor, he just leaves the PX13 in tent mode so that he always has a second monitor directly in front of him. And because it's kind of like open in a triangle, it allows for good cooling. And then when he leaves, he just unplugs that one cable and takes off. Like, it's big brain moves over here, okay? The big deal here is the replica Demon Slayer Tanjiro Kamado Katana. Probably totally said that wrong. So if you're really into like anime, pretty cool little item to have right above your monitor. I love the little square wood panels he has in front of him. The lighting is perfect. He even has a big light bar at the top to light up the knickknacks on the top shelf. A couple of lights on the right-hand side. Overall, a very good looking setup. The next setup comes from Kyle. He's 17 years old and he's from Boston. And the only reason I'm showing this setup is because it drives me crazy in the sense that, like, it has so much potential. Like, you have all the basics there right in front of you, but all the junk and the clutter surrounding it completely ruins it. Like, for one, Kyle, you have a garbage bin with a lot of Kleenex in there. I know you're 17 years old, but that's a lot of Kleenex for a 17-year-old. I think you need to calm down a little bit. But like the papers, the knickknacks, they're just all over the place. You have a towel hanging out of the right side little desk you have there. And then the pictures, the maps on the wall are not even centered. There's just so much potential here. And yes, sure, you're using an antique desk, but that antique desk is kind of nice. There's character there. Like, when I look at this picture, my eye should automatically be going to the desk. But because there's just so much clutter, it gets taken away. You know, like, just clean everything up, make the focal point the desk, and I promise you, everything will look fantastic, because there's not a lot of stuff you need to buy to make this look better. The next setup comes from Calvin. He's from California. He's in his last semester of university studying computer engineering. And look, again, just like the previous setup, this has so much potential. Like, it's fairly clean, but there's a few things that are throwing me off. For one, I do like the fact that it's right beside a window, so you have natural light. But there's something about his room. It feels very empty. It feels like there's just a desk set up in the right-hand corner and nothing else in there, which doesn't feel cozy, right? But the desk setup itself can easily be tinkered with. For one, I think there's just too much stuff on the desk. It feels like it's spilling over onto the sides. I don't think in this situation, because of the size of your 32-inch monitor, you should have your laptop floating on the left. It feels like it's falling off. I'd probably just place it in a vertical laptop stand and keep it on the left-hand side. I'd also get rid of that little light on the right-hand side. It just feels like it's squished in there for no reason. In fact, it's behind your monitor. I don't even know how often you're using it, because even your second speaker is like on the side of your desk instead of being beside the monitor. You can get rid of a few knickknacks to clean things up. I don't know if that's how you work with the keyboard on the left-hand side and then the mouse on the right, but I would have loved to see that centered as well. Cable management looks good. Everything else looks fine. It's just a few things need to be moved around. The next setup comes from Haley, and she says, "Hello, Mark." Excuse me? I am Matt, okay? I'm not gonna take offense to it. I'm still gonna show your laptop setup, but just know that you hurt my feelings. Joking aside, Haley is 35 years old. She's a system analyst and she lives in the UK. I was actually just in the UK a week ago. I love it there. But this is her desk setup. And there's a few things that I like about it, but there's also a few things that can be changed to make it look so much better. For one, I like the little bamboo posts behind her desk. That gives it some character. I love the fact that she has a super wide desk, but the problem with her desk is it's very narrow. And that causes a few things to stand out. For one, the PC is in an angle, and I think it's just taking up too much of the desk. I think for this setup, she would have been better off placing the PC on the floor or hanging it from the bottom of the desk with one of those straps. I think that would actually look the best. Because, you know, the monitor situation's fine. She has it on a laptop arm. It's above, and she has a little nook to house her speakers, plus some more space underneath to hide the keyboard cable. but the other monitor just feels out of place because she has it right beside the laptop, which feels like too close together. I think maybe I would get rid of that monitor and just use the laptop display, and I think that would make the desk look a little cleaner, assuming she can use the laptop display instead of having 3 monitors on her desk. I love the fact that she has a shelf above it. I love the fact she was able to place some pictures to make things look cool and personalize it. The plants look great. Some of those actually look real compared to some other people who put fake plants in their stuff. The cloth mouse pad looks great. The RK Royal Kludge mechanical keyboard is good. She's using an MK or MX Master, just like a lot of other people do. She says obviously, but she also has a gaming mouse when she wants to game. All right, so that wraps up episode number 40 for the best laptop setups. Let me know which ones were your favorite in the comment section down below. Also, if you're interested in submitting your laptop setup, there'll be instructions in the description on how to do that. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Like it if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.